Shelton, thank you so much for being here today. The past few weeks have been incredibly challenging and emotional for the city of Los Angeles. As both a local real estate agent and homeowner in the Palisades community, you've really had a front row seat to the impact of these fires, and you've been such a vocal advocate and key figure in relief efforts. So we're really eager to sort of hear your perspectives on everything that's going on. To start, can you give us a brief overview of the unique challenges that many displaced homeowners are facing right now?
Oh, yes. Well, thank you for having me, Aaron. I appreciate it. And yes, I just keep saying, I'm like, woo, January, that was a tough year. I mean, like feels like multiple years that have just happened in a month. And it's been just horrific and sad and there's really no words for it. I mean, and when I try to tell people, because I'm from North Carolina, and so people reaching out, and I just said it's 10,000 times worse than what the news says or what you see, because it's so many of our friends' homes and clients, and our school burned down, and just so many schools burned down, and there's been so much just been shifting around, and it's kind of unfathomable what's happened. So, and it's just people are still getting their bearings, and they're not going to have that for a while. So the scrambling was real, and it's still kind of going on. And they were calling it the Hunger Games, which was, it was true. It was just like trying to find these rentals, and there was one place that had 71 applications on the one house. So that is wild. And there were so many new rules and all of these different things. We even just had a Zoom with our brokerage yesterday about the new Gavin Newsom signed off on new rules for rentals. And so it's kind of ever changing each day, each week. And so with the price gouging situation that happened, and then it became the situation with the rentals where it can only be HUD plus 160%. And so the HUD values were so much lower, sometimes with people's homes, it being no more on the west side than 9,500 for a home. And that could be your property taxes on that home could be more than that in a month. So it wasn't, then it was really making it so people couldn't lease out their homes. So it's just finding the balance between what's fair market value and then what's, not price. It's all of it. It's kind of challenging for homeowners. So that's really been tough. And then also people looking for the home. So, me personally with leases, I have tried to direct people directly to the listing agents, because I don't want any sort of commission or anything like that. And I want to make sure it's done correctly, but I also want to make sure my clients find a home, but it's hard to navigate what's the correct pricing for things. But one thing that you could know that it was priced correctly is if it had ever been on the market before, and then it could be 10% above, and then it could be 5% above that if it was furnished. So those were kind of some of the rules that have been in place. And I think now what's happening is the initial shock is wearing off. So people are deciding really what they want to do. They maybe got in either a rental or in a Airbnb, or some people are stayed at hotels, and then or even went to Palm Springs. A lot of people at Palm Springs or different areas, and then they're now deciding what they want to do. If they're looking to buy, some people are considering that, or because they're just really not sure how long the cleanup really is going to be.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty. You were recently featured in a Vanity Fair article, which was really great, by the way, where you discussed the impact of the fires. And you expressed concern that some fire victims are making some pretty major real estate decisions while still sort of in a state of shock, right? How are you helping clients slow down and gain clarity in a crisis like this?
Yeah, well, because it is such a crisis. And so, I'm sober a long time, and are a big phrase that I really love is pause when agitated. And so there's a lot of there's a lot of decisions that need to be made, but also, deal what I'm telling my clients that have lots or that burn or homes that burn down is to just try to wait to get more information, because there were some people and agents actually that had reached out that had been a part of the Paradise fires or other areas where that had come up. And they had said that in their opinion and what they had been through is that sometimes if you wait and hold the lot and that you're able to get it remediated, at least, because that's something that LA is planning to do if you're on their list. I've been on a bunch of the Zooms for the Palisades. Then it could be more valuable. Or a lot of people are moving forward and either having their plans or getting plans done or working with, I mean, architects and builders are so busy right now. And so it's just reaching out, having those plans that could actually be so much more beneficial to you than just panicking and, selling the lot right away. But before we have all of the information, because the truth is that anybody that gets on here or is out there and telling you something that they think is end all be all, or they know exactly what's going to be, then they are lying because we really don't know. And I think the more honest we can be about that is that, yes, we are. I mean, I would never say first responders, more like third responders to help our clients and be there. And I have gotten so many calls, but I mean, obviously first responders are the heroes that, saved Brentwood, by the way, and that tried to manage and help all, the firefighters and everyone. So, but the more information that we can gain from each other as agents, the more we can tell our clients, and then they can make really informed decisions. And so, that's what I'm trying to be on as many Zooms as possible, but also to tell my clients to gather as much as they can, information wise about rebuilding, about the cleanup. And the other thing that's been really challenging is I have 3 clients that their homes are still standing. And so I'm texting with them, and reaching out to them constantly. I'm like, what are you guys hearing? What are they telling you? And the hard part is that some of these, the insurance companies have said, oh, well, your house is still standing, just go on back in. And you're like, wait, but there's no water. Wait, but there's nothing around. So that's been a lot to navigate for people. And there is a real thing, the analysis paralysis and then decision paralysis. And that's been, a lot. I mean, it's hard to even put it into words about how much people are going through that lost their homes or have a home in the area that where it's still standing, but you can't really go.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, you're doing a good job at putting it into words. You touched on something that I think is really important. Real estate agents being part of the process of helping those who were effective as third responders. We've been really impressed by your dedication, along with other agents who have stepped up to be a voice and advocate for those effective. How do you see real estate agents evolving as community leaders and third responders during situations like these?
I mean, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. It's just that's all I knew what that's all I knew what to do, is to try to be of service as much as I can, because I was receiving so many calls and I was trying to connect people as much as I could and find out. I mean, we all have so much information that's coming to us that the more that we can share with each other, it's very valuable, because it's not just the clients or people talking to each other or what information they're getting from the government or these panels, but what we can the more information we can get out to people, the better. Like even when it was the rentals, that was like the list of places that could furnish them for them, or different websites that could, I don't know, help people. Even something I shared that was so great. I think it was actually someone that lost her home, and she had this Insta story, and it was so amazing that nobody would really think of, to go to a Bloomingdale's and do a wedding registry and like go, because you're like, how are you going to know the price of each thing? And you were like, oh, actually, I had two apple peelers. Well, we're going to click that link. And we had four spatulas and four, so it's like, how can you get all of the information that you need to give to the insurance company? And I was like, that is such a pro tip. That is so, wow, I would have never thought of that. So the more I've been able, with the Instagram following and having, a resource tab on my Instagram that's like for fire resources, is just trying to share as much as possible. It's like sharing is caring. There's no time to kind of gatekeep anything that we have here.
This episode of the Presence Podcast is dedicated to those affected by the recent fires in Los Angeles. In the aftermath, our team at Luxury Presence worked to help clients like Shelton share vital information with their communities by creating dedicated resource pages on their websites. If you have a site with us and feel this could be beneficial to you and your clients, please reach out. Luxury Presence is also proud to support LA Tech Community Cares Fund, where local tech companies are coming together to pool resources and assist those in need. For more information on these initiatives, please visit the links in the description. Additionally, we're continuing our partnership with Giveback Homes, organizing volunteer days throughout the year to build homes in Los Angeles and around the country. Now back to the episode. Yeah, for sure. I do think a lot of homeowners look to real estate agents as leaders in these communities. And you are certainly one of those. You're doing a great job. I just thought of something as well, which is we noticed this on your social media. You did a wonderful event. I think it was yesterday, Wilder Wellness. Tell us a little bit about Wilder Wellness.
Yeah, so thank you. My name, Shelton Wilder, really is helpful because I've just branded everything. So I've done these Wilder Wednesday videos for over 8 years now, consistently every week. That kind of is what grew my Instagram following, I believe, because I was just using video before. It was just so now it's just like necessary. Everybody should use video, but it was kind of before that time. But I love putting together community events, and that was kind of a client appreciation party as well. I have also a women's group called Wilder Women. And so they were all invited, plus clients, and it was kind of a time to come with healthy, beautiful food, healthy, like a sound bath and a meditation, and everyone kind of coming together and crying and can kind of lay on the mats and to experience something together. And it ended up being like a beautiful event, and not kind of like some over the top. It was just more of like people getting together and being able to give each other hugs. That's kind of my thing. I just want people, even if it helps one person. I mean, it's just, there's so much that we need each other. We really need each other. And, I'm not from here. I'm from North Carolina and have all my siblings there. But, we've have a chosen family here. And with my kids that are, 9 and 11 years old, 2 boys, and now they have a new school. And now it's nice for everybody to come together and have a chance to share and cry and be vulnerable and honest about what they're going through, and it be a safe place. So that's what we tried to do with that. And it turned out to be a great one. It was really sweet. So
I love that. I say continue to do those. We need them here. I'd love to hear your outlook on the future of the Los Angeles housing market as a whole, as well as specifically in the Palisades. But for LA at large, what do you see as some of the larger, longer term impacts of these fires?
There was already a housing shortage before so many homes were, burned. And that's why I think there's such a scramble. I mean, I don't have the exact numbers or the percentages, but I mean, there was such a small amount of rentals and then so many people needed them. So that's why I think that it became, the Hunger Games, and it went crazy. I think that there are going to be people that, just in my experience, what I found, people are wanting to stay close. Like, obviously there's the Altadena, and I don't work in that area quite as much, so I'll focus more on the Palisades because that's where we were every day with our school, our kids' school. But people are wanting to still stay close. So Santa Monica and Brentwood has really seen a lot of demand, and people are wanting to be there. I guess, you know, keeping as much of a sense of community as they can, and kind of seeing where their children's schools have shifted. There's a lot of that, and then kind of that sense of security of like the Brentwood Country Mart, or I'm just kind of being around there or being close by. So those have really seen a big shift, and there are a lot of multiple offers on properties that have come to market, in Santa Monica, Brentwood, even in Mar Vista and Venice. There's been a shift towards that, and then also in Cheviot Hills, Westwood Cheviot Hills too. But I've been talking with colleagues, and they're saying that really, pricing in Beverly Hills has not shifted as much. It is, or like Valley as much, but West Side, there's been, but we're going to see, because now there might be, what we were talking about in my meeting today, is there might be more inventory coming to market.
Yeah, for sure. I think sellers may be trying to take advantage of an influx in demand. Um, well, I have clients who live in other kind of high risk, fire prone areas who are considering selling. Are you seeing that trend as well?
I am. hmm People are, I mean, I just think it affected people. It affected everybody. There's not one. I mean, if you weren't, then, I mean, it's all anybody can really talk about, because it really has been such a huge change. And then, but there are some people that, decided, where they've lived West Side, they're like, oh, well, let's try West Hollywood now. Or, let's try, a different area, or Culver City, or, so I do think that there's so many homes missing now. And a lot of people really do still want to be in LA, and they don't want to.
How do you think like these recent events will impact how you advise clients on home ownership and maybe safety in fire prone areas in the future? Like, do you think buyers will start prioritizing fire resistant home features the way they do pools or home offices? Like, could fire safety become a major selling point now?
I I think so, and I think with the rebuild, I mean, I've been seeing all these neat things, that where there's different articles or videos coming out about, like, there was a one that I saw this morning where there was a family in Santa Clara that lost their home, and now their whole home is made of these, it's like foam and concrete kind of blocks that they've put together, but you saw the home and it didn't look anything, but it's these fire safe homes. And I hope that they're going to be bringing amazing materials like that, available, would be really important. And I mean, I really pray that they're going to have a good solution to what they're going to do moving forward with the Palisades and Altadena, obviously. But with putting the the power lines underground, and just being very smart about the planning of everything, it would just makes a lot of sense, and putting a lot of safety precautions in, so something like this could never happen again. I just is I I still sometimes can't believe it, that it came all the way down through the Alphabet Street to the Huntington, and even past the PCH on those homes in Mal. I mean, you just really would never have believed that that could happen, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Malibu, and over there we're really no stranger to fires, and obviously throughout the history of Los Angeles, there have been other fires, but it was something about this that really kind of woke people up to the idea of being susceptible to such a misfortune and crazy disaster. Now people are so much more aware to the possibilities of these things, and yeah, it's still so shocking. I just drove on PCH, and again, I've grew up in Malibu, so I've seen what these fires can do, but it doesn't. No one is desensitized to this. Like it is just so shocking.
Yeah, I haven't driven it yet, and I my friend from that's on KTLA that she was like, "Oh, you could come," and because she went with one of our friends, and she went through and all the rubble and everything. But I don't know. I'm not sure about going yet. I mean, I everybody that's told me that has gone is just said it's just so much worse. That's what I'm trying to explain to people in North Carolina, or I'm in Realm, so I'm in that amazing group with like the top agents around the country, and so explaining it to them, it's just so much worse than what people can imagine. And so, yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I see all the videos. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'll have to go soon, but it's devastating.
Do you foresee many of your clients attempting to rebuild in the Palisades, or are these decisions still not made? It's still way too early on to even think about that process.
Yes, so I have a few, and the first week they were like, our whole block's rebuilding. We're doing it, no matter what. And then now I think that when they're being told it could be so much longer than what they were initially told, then people are just reconsidering. They shouldn't. Nobody should. I mean, this is just my opinion, but making a decision right now is just try to give it. Even so, I see this like cranial sacral lady, and the therapist, and she's like these big traumatic moments. It's like no big decisions first 3 months. So I don't know if that's helpful. I'm not helpful. I'm not a therapist, but yeah. So that's like something to be shared. But then other people are saying, if you are going to possibly sell, that's what we were saying. Like if you get your plans in place and a builder and are able to show the insurance company. I mean, I don't know the exact answers, but I just think that the more you can do, the more legwork and footwork you can do on it, I feel like it could be the most beneficial for you. And even we were saying this morning, because there were some of the lots that are coming up, and nobody has any idea about the pricing. So I guess some of these that's gonna be a comp. I mean, I don't know. I want to stay. I don't call me if you want to list your house right now. Like I'm not. I'm kind of trying to be as helpful and sensitive to clients as possible with the most information. Not people. I mean, there have been people that are just like, oh, we have 6 people that are just listing right now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to be one of the first people to do that, because we really don't know exactly. So I want to give my clients the most information as possible, not like one idea. But I don't know. I'm not judging anybody for any way that they're doing it, because there might be some people that are just like, I'm done. I don't even care what you say. I never want to go there again. That was so traumatic. I understand that too. I just don't. I haven't had that experience with the client, and my suggestion has been, let's get the most information that we can. Pause when agitated.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, and the right way to go about this. There's still so much we don't know yet. What ethical considerations are coming into play when, outside investors see tragedy like this as an opportunity? Like, are big corporations coming in a concern for you?
I mean, I don't like to spread rumors, but of course we've heard of large companies wanting to come in and build and possibly just lease out these. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you know, it's something to think about. It could be a very interesting thing that can happen, but everybody will have to make their own decision, and you never know if they're offered something that works for them. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm I I'm not here to judge because I don't know. I don't know we're not inside someone else and how they're feeling. But as an empath, I am just trying to like hold the space for my personal clients or my friends and like hear them out and then try to get a very logical path forward. So that's all I can really do. But it is so interesting. I mean, when I hear other people, I want to know exactly what actually is happening out there, because I have heard that there are some off-market lots being offered and people that are lining up, and there's a big company that's a builder that's just got a huge line of credit that they're ready to go. I mean, so who am I to say? I mean, maybe that would be the best thing for a client that's traumatized and they've just been like, see you later. We're going across the country, or we're going to Australia, or we're going wherever. Like, you know, might be the best option for them. But for people I've worked with personally, that's not been there. That's not where they want to be. They want to wait. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're doing the right thing. Getting all the information first and being client focused, client first over everything.
Yeah. I mean, these are my friends. These are my friends. I mean, I'm like, what would I tell, yeah, like a sibling or something? That's kind of how I.
Yeah, you wouldn't tell your client to do anything you wouldn't do yourself, and I think more agents should adopt that approach.
We're trying. I'm around a lot of good ones. I'm always sticking with I always try to think the best in people, and that, but some people are like, if their clients are asking them to do things, and I understand that if they have to kind of move, they have to do what they're asked to do too. So,
Yeah, there's a balance there for sure. As we wrap things up, I have a final question for you. If you could create a playbook for real estate agents kind of dealing with disaster-stricken communities, what would the first two or three chapters look like?
wow. I think I'm still in the early stages of writing those chapters.
We're still in,
Um,
still in chapter one.
yeah, very much. Just still in the intro here. I think that being part of the community is most important, and I think that the more collaboration, the better. And then the more that you can just listen to your clients. I mean, that is, yeah, and also I think what I did in the beginning with what you were saying, Aaron, and what you guys appreciated is that the not like, I want to get as much information out to people as possible. And it really wasn't about real estate. A lot of it was about, I mean, what can there wasn't I didn't see anything as like a financial gain. It was more of like, oh wow, what do people need right now? How can we get them information to get a hot meal, or to get some new socks, or a gift card, or um, and sharing that, which had nothing to do with real estate or sales. Nothing. Of course not. And or even just lending an ear of like, okay, what schools are you guys thinking? Or where have they maneuvered? Or how are your kids doing? Oh my gosh, even this just adorable friend of mine that we went to preschool together, and he started this book drive to put children's libraries back together. So, and I was like, what an amazing thing. So just spreading the word about that, like just being a voice, I think is important. Being out there, and I'm not a public figure, obviously, and I don't see myself with that. But if there's 45,000 followers on Instagram, it's like, okay, well, let's get some information now. If it helps one person, great. Or that I think was good, and people would send me things to share, and I was so happy to do it. So yeah, that is just being the source, to be the one to, yeah, just sharing the information has been important. That's what I would say, and being open to all the calls and all of the, yeah, I don't know, that's what I would say, and collaborating with others versus this competitive. I mean I only compete with myself. I don't have that competitive side. So that again has been so valuable, and I didn't even know how valuable it was, but it's just that being of service mindset has, I think that's the most important way to be as an agent, and or any third responder. Los Angeles is so important. We're not going anywhere. LA strong, and Pali, all of those. And so I'm just hopeful that there's going to be a lot of care and thought, and the leadership, and we're not going to discuss that here, but I'm just going to pray that things really come together, because we are important to the world. Los Angeles is not just the United States, but the world, with the World Cup and the Olympics and everything coming. And this city is beautiful. This is our home. So I have a lot of hope.
Thank you for that message, Shelton. And you're going to be a huge part. You're going to play a major role in the rebuilding and facilitating of all of this. So we're looking forward to helping you however we can. And we wish you the best of luck going forward. Thank you so much for your time. We really, really appreciate it.
Yay. Thank you so much. And thanks for having me on. Hopefully it was helpful to a few people out there.
This was definitely helpful. People want to hear your insights, and you've done a great job again using your voice to educate the masses. So thank you again, Shelton.
Okay. Thank you.